Goal bahasa dia ni. our ROTC cadets will present the colors. Please stand as our concert choir, under the direction of Mr. Darrell Timmer, sings our national anthem. Good evening, and welcome to the 44th Annual Woodbury High School Commencement Ceremony, and a special welcome to the class of 2019. My name is Sarah Sorensen-Wagner, principal of Woodbury High School, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you here this evening to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our graduates. Before we begin, I would like to introduce several special guests with us this evening. District 833 School Board Chair, Ms. Tracy Brunette, board members, Mr. Ron Kath, Ms. Sharon Van Leer, Ms. Katie Schwartz, Ms. Heather Hirsch, and Michelle Whitty. Also present today is our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Keith Jacobus, and Assistant Superintendents, Mr. Mike Johnson, Miss Julie Nielsen, and Miss Christine Schaefer. Our Woodbury High School administrators, Miss Alicia Busnick and Mr. Pizzini, and seated behind our students, Mr. Marvin Wooten and Mr. Mark Canton. It is also with great pleasure that I also present to you our honored staff, selected by this class of 2019. Staff, please stand and remain standing until I've named all of you, at which we will honor you with our applause. Mr. Kent Getzloff, Miss Corey Farmer, Mr. Wes Bolin, Mr. Carl Anderson, Mr. John Holden, Miss Teresa Forshear, Mr. Gary Diamond, and Mr. Joe Walker. like to ask all of our teachers and school staff in the audience from both Woodbury High School and the district to please stand and be recognized. There's some in the back. And now, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the exceptional class of 2019. The mission of Woodbury High School is that our students will accept the challenges of the future through excellence in academics, arts, and athletics. This class of 2019 is composed of excellent students who have done outstanding work at Woodbury High School. We have 10 students who will be graduating summa cum laude with distinction, signifying a cumulative grade point average of 4.3 or above. And 67 members of this class have a cumulative GPA of a 4.0 or higher. Please take note of them in your program. In addition, a total of 191 students wear an honor stole for their outstanding scholarship. Students, at this time, would all of you with honor stoles please stand and receive our applause. That a GPA alone does not define excellence. We challenge our students each day in the classroom to push their limits, engage in difficult discussion, and learn content at a high level. Students, remember practice Friday morning? This is the part where you have to listen. If you have ever taken an honors course at Woodbury High School, have challenged yourself with taking an AP course, have taken an AP exam, have taken a college in the schools course or a Project Lead the Way course, if you've enrolled in PSEO or 916 or are a member of our District 833 Spanish Immersion program, please stand and receive our applause for excellence in academics. Our students at Woodbury High School are also highly engaged in the arts, learning how to express their emotions and ideas through drama, music, and visual representation. Students, if you participated in band, orchestra, or choir, if you have been in one of our musicals or plays, participated in one act, if you are a member of our speech team, or if you have created and displayed your art in one of our many art shows, please stand and receive our applause for excellence in the arts. Thank you. Woodbury High School also has an outstanding reputation for our athletic performance. Our student athletes learn valuable life skills of teamwork and cooperation while persisting in working toward a common goal. If you participated in one of Woodbury High School's 30 sponsored athletic teams in one of our fall, winter, or spring sports, please stand and receive our applause for excellence in athletics. And finally, I don't want to forget what sets Woodbury High School apart from other high schools. Your opportunity to participate in approximately 60 student-led school clubs and activities. We are proud of our student leadership in developing a positive school culture, establishing a school where each student finds a place to belong and peers with similar interests to pursue. We are proud of the thousands of volunteer hours our students have shared with our community and how you have supported one another in giving back to our school. At this time, please stand if you participated in any club or activity while you were a student at Woodbury High School. I want to say to you, you have many gifts to share with the world. Thank you for your contribution to Woodbury High School. You have made your mark with your kindness, generosity, and joy for life. You have achieved our vision of excellence, and we are so proud of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our students representing the achievement of summa cum laude with distinction for the class of 2019. Please come forward. Andreas Adamovicius, Kayla Chan, Neha Jen, Cade Kiesling, Evan Koo, Scott Sampson, Morgan Swanson, Ethan Wu, Michael Shaw, and Sunny Yimmer.
Congratulations to the class of 2019. We all love our mothers. They always tell us that we can do anything we want to. But we can never thank them enough for the sacrifices they made for us. My own parents immigrated from Ethiopia to America to raise me. And whether they realize it or not, their coming of age story has inspired my own. They've had completely different life experiences than me, and everyone here has had different life experiences. But we all find ourselves by chasing the intangibles of curiosity, friendship, and love. Sometimes that works, and we beat Easters for the past 2 years in football. But sometimes that fails, and someone lets Mr. Hoban MC the coffee house again. No matter what, that chase brings us closer to discovering our passion. So, let's act like we're still in 3rd grade, when we asked a million annoying questions fueled by curiosity, when we weren't nervous to make new friends, and when we still told our moms we loved them. They would love that.
Speaking of the 3rd grade, remember those high school movies we used to watch? You know, the ones where the jocks in the football game, the nerds finally go to a party, and everyone gets into their dream college? Stereotypes aside, high school was almost nothing like the movies. But when you look at life to this perspective, the glass is pretty half empty. Thankfully, high school is not the end-all be-all. We all went into middle school trying to be like everyone else, and we all came into high school trying to find our individual selves. But in the end, maybe we didn't find that person who we truly are, and maybe we don't even know what we want to do with it. But that's okay, as a consequence. Either way, if you achieve your so-called goals or not, we learned valuable lessons. We've made fond memories, and perhaps even learned from our regrets. But unlike what every Disney high school movie shows us, this isn't the end. High school is just the beginning. If you regret not being outgoing, now's your time to shine. If you still have some goals from 9th grade which you need to complete, you still can. Instead of looking at life as a half-empty glass of unachieved potential, shatter the glass and look around it. It doesn't matter how much you learn or how much you did in high school, but it matters how much you learn. So now, as we're done with our 4 years, go out in the world and do as you aspire to do from what we have learned.
But we cannot effectively learn if we do not tussle with the enemy of education, distraction. Its best tools are smart technology and social media, and through these, it is gaining ground on the battle for our attention. A battle that is perhaps even greater than trying to get off the couch after eating an entire family-sized chicken pot pie. Its greatest deception is telling you that it is worth your time. Friends, it is not. It lets us believe that it makes us more social, yet we sit alone scrolling for hours. Our technology is of the future, but our lethargic brains are devolving into a consistency that of unripe oatmeal. Some say we are the consumers, but I say we are what is being consumed. Yet there is hope. Beneath the shadow of the great distraction, we must take up arms, and as Dylan Thomas once said, rage, rage against the dying of the light. Thank you, Dylan. Class of 2019, whatever your station in life, whether you will wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or become a useless member of society. We all must fight the distraction that keeps us from reaching our true potential. So let us put down our distractions and pick up our futures.
Our best tool against distraction, besides Mr. Boland's phone jail, is willpower. Throughout high school, I was told that my willpower was limited. Like a tank of gas, after every action or decision I made, my physical and mental ability to make more willpower decisions was slowly drained. But after these years at Woodbury High School, I've realized that you are given a choice. You can choose to be at the mercy of your own willpower. Let it distract you and convince you that you should do anything to buy some relaxation from the tedious task at hand. But I encourage you to let your willpower drive you. Let it motivate you. If you tell yourself that your willpower will never run out, you would wake up with a perspective of higher goals and standards. Rather than being lazy and indecisive, you would act with discipline and intention. If you wake up believing that your willpower is limitless, then you all have the unlimited potential to change the world.
Our willpower creates potential and helps us to accomplish great things. But I encourage us to find fulfillment in the things that we do instead of the things we achieve. Every time you look up from your work, thinking you are finished, ready to celebrate, you turn your head dreadingly and there's a new obligation for you. Like to go to advisory in May, or to read The Stranger with only 1 week of school left. If all we have to look forward to are these brief moments between our obligations when we look up and feel relief, we will waste a lot of time buried under stress. Instead, we should choose paths that fill our time with our passions, like scrolling through Twitter memes, or begging to go outside in English class. Then, we'll turn our heads eagerly for the next opportunity after we pause to celebrate our accomplishments and to thank those who helped us along the way.
Speaking of thanks, I would like to give a quick thank you to some people. First off, thank you to our teachers, administration, parents, and friends for sticking with us this entire time. Also would like to give a quick shout out to our custodians and cafeteria ladies. They are often slept on, so I would like to recognize them today for always keeping our school running. Also would like to thank Ethan Wu for being that bright ball of sunshine I see every day. You may not realize it, but you've allowed me to see the glass half full ever since we met freshman year, and so I'm grateful to you for that. Also big thanks to Lauren Kramer for driving me all the time. You're better than Uber. You're super. Sorry, Lauren. Finally, special thanks to Google, Slater, Reddit for always being there during those late nights and even later assignments. Without them, I would not have survived senior slide and reached my maximum potential. You guys are truly the best. Thank you.
Graduation is a day where we'll hear many congratulations, to which we'll respond with many thank yous. Today is a day to celebrate our achievements, but also to remember the help we received along the way. To be able to graduate is a testament to our efforts, but also to the support and love given us from family, friends, and mentors. We have each been gifted with a chance to have an education, learn new things, and begin to understand ourselves and the world. This time and knowledge we have been gifted is an investment in each of us and a belief in our potential. What beautiful things these are for which we can be grateful, and what a valuable opportunity we now have to use our gifts for good. To be gifted is to be ambitious and influential, but more so to be gracious and grateful.
Speaking of being gracious and grateful, I hate high school and the gift of an education it gave me, as well as all the opportunities it gave me to learn, to understand myself and the world around me, and I hate all of the support I've had to be here. I absolutely regret putting in the effort to be recognized with this distinction up here, because C's get degrees, and I've put myself on the track of having peaked in high school. My GPA set my fate in stone, and there's nothing I can do about it now. Okay, all sarcasm aside, I've absolutely peaked in high school, and I welcome this label, but not in the way that you might think. see if I'm at a peak right now, then my potential energy is at a maximum. And the same goes for all of us graduates. Graduation is our peak, and thus we have more potential energy now than ever. But what we do with this high potential energy is up to us. We can continue to put forth the effort that we have so far to reach even bigger goals, or we can give up, put it all to rest, and assert that this graduation here is the absolute highest peak of our lives. The contours of our futures are uncertain, but we can bring about even higher peaks if we use our potential energy to keep working towards our goals. Our lives will always be full of peaks and valleys, not a single peak, but an entire mountain range. And we can always strive to reach a peak even higher than ever before. And the peak we're at now is merely a small one in comparison to the Everests that we are capable of reaching. So, class of 2019, to anyone who says we've peaked here, just say, yeah, we've peaked, but we haven't ever rested.
Next, I'd like us to turn our attention to the Woodbury High School Concert Choir under the direction of Mr. Daryl Timmer as they perform With a Lily in Your Hand by Eric Whitaker. This year, Woodbury High School is privileged to welcome Mr. Kent Getzlaff as our honor staff speaker selected by the class of 2019. Mr. Getzlaff.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us to celebrate the class of 2019. My name is Kent Getzlaff, social studies teacher here at Woodbury High School. I am both thrilled and honored to be sharing this night with you. Students, you look so great today. Those caps and gowns, so drippy. I'd like to take a minute to describe the class of 2019 to our guests. When I think of this class, the first thing that comes to mind is all of your stories. You have told so many and been a part of so many. My personal favorite occurred last year while I was volunteering with my family at Feed My Starving Children in Woodbury. I saw several members of the class of 2019, one of the many examples of how great this class is, and one of them, Nadia Franzen, looked up, saw me, and said, "Mr. Getzlaff, I didn't know you were a good person." Just think, Nadia's one of our good kids. Perhaps the most popular stories from this class are the Snapchat stories. No, not the account that you made for your parents to follow. I'm talking about the real thing. Where you captured all your wonderful memories, including locking the juniors in the parking lot, school slip and slides, and projection movies. That night was lit, fam. But to best explain this class, we need to go to the beginning of stories. The ones that just have pictures. You know, so Braden Hack can understand them. Then there are children's stories. My favorite being Pinkalicious, who once famously said, "You get what you get and you don't throw a fit, unless you're Maddie and Ellie and you run out of Lululemon clothes." We must mention the fiction stories. There seem to be so many of those, like the ones about missing class, best told by Lily Price, or the ones about traffic jams on Valley Creek during 4th hour lunch, best told by Charlie Gustafson. Or another one of my favorites, I'm Getting My Boot Off Soon by Chase Robinson. We certainly can't forget the nonfiction stories, like the one about winning the football conference championship for the first time ever, as told by our football team. Or videos from Miss Farmer's class going viral. Thank you, Sydney. And finally, there are the stories that everyone in the building can hear, told, of course, by Keyshawn. The second thing that comes to mind about the class of 2019 is the legacy you're leaving behind. You had many successes during your time here, and it reminded me of one of my favorite quotes. Success leaves clues. While intentional or not, you left many clues for the underclassmen to follow your path of success. You made it the norm to choose kindness. When I asked Ms. Sorensen-Wagner about this class, she said, in her motherly voice, "They're just so nice." You made it the norm to take risks and set new standards with successful events like the TEDx program. You also made it the norm to have school pride by supporting your classmates at school events like Coffee House, Cabaret, and Homecoming. None of those events being mandatory, but the senior class packed the place at all three. And maybe my favorite thing about this class is you did all of this because it was the right thing to do, even though it was the harder path. And that, kids, is a legacy. Before we go, I'd like to give you one piece of advice for your next journey. Be a good teammate. You're going to be a teammate in some capacity for the rest of your life. In your career, as a friend, a spouse, a parent, and many others. And your success, along with the others around you, could very well be defined by how good of a teammate you are. Quick, think of a role model in your life. No, Tope, someone besides me. Here's what they all have in common. Effort. Work as hard or harder than you expect others to. Accountability. Own your decisions and learn from them. Attitude. Raise the energy in the room. You're contagious. Service. Be willing to put others first. It's not always just about you. Determination. There will be tough days. Fight through them. Loyalty. Fiercely support those on your team. And finally, accept whatever role it is you're given and crush it. Students, it's time for the next chapter. From all of us here at Woodbury High School, we thoroughly enjoyed being a part of your story so far, and we can't wait to see what you write next. Congratulations and best of luck.
Our final speakers this evening were selected by their peers to represent the class of 2019. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Evan Wu, followed by Jackson McHugh.
Pop quiz time. What's the most powerful force in the universe? Is it gravity? The force that binds us to this planet and holds the stars and galaxies together? That's a pretty good start. But gravity can only do so much because energy has to be conserved. You know that last kid with the clever Everest pun? Totally lied to you. You can't just use your past potential energy to get a higher energy state. You have to do work on the object to get to higher potentials. Gravity just can't make energy pop out of nowhere. But gravity is also constrained by the fact that it relies on very large masses and small distances between the objects. Just to show you guys how weak gravity is without having too large masses or a small distance between the objects, let's look at an example involving the attraction between two people. Let's say I'm walking and I approach the prince of the school. And I hit her up with the, "Hey, I'm feeling a strong gravitational attraction between you and me." By doing this, I've done one of two things. Either one of us is as heavy as a planet, and I may get slapped, or I'm being very creepy by being way too close. So, dating master Evan Coop, what do you do when you got someone to woo? The trick is simple. Become strong and approach the prince by saying, "I love you, boo." Bam, thank me later for your first date. So now you've probably figured out that I'm gonna talk about love or something. Wrong. You see, having never felt nor received love these 18 years, I don't feel like I have the soul and passion to speak on such a topic. But there is a topic that the loveless do know quite a bit about, and what Albert Einstein claims to be the most powerful force in the universe. And that's compound interest. If you're wondering, yes, I was talking about the banking system being loveless. Now, I know many of you are saying, compound interest? That's the thing that's going to leave me drowning in debt in 4 years and keep me living with my parents. But compound interest just isn't a tool used by the banks or mafia to forcefully seize all your belongings. It's a tool we can all use to sacrifice value and pleasure in the present in order to get ever-increasing gains in the future. We're all kids fresh out of high school, and we have the most time to let compound interest do its magic to make our money grow. There's no better place to put your money than into a retirement fund. Trust me on this advice. As self-proclaimed dating master, nothing gets your partner interested like a good retirement plan. I don't care about how you look, and I definitely don't care about your problems. I want to hear about how your employer matches your 401k up to $5,000 a year, and how your annual $3,600 investments to the S&P 500 are netting you 9.5% return on average. That's $2 million a year by the time you're 60 before inflation. Compound interest just doesn't apply to the growth of money through stocks and bonds. Any investment of present value for the future can have compounding effects. Our school probably just had 40 grand lying around somewhere, and they had a difficult decision to make. They could have either tapped into their gluttony by spending it all on, say, 7,400 Taco Bell $5 box combos to eat in the present, or they could invest it into 128 iPads to expand the educational frontier for years to come. Thankfully, our school saw the value of iPads and how they could be used to enhance our education. Now we can store 4,000 gigabytes worth of high schoolers making duck faces. And we can infuriate the teachers by changing the backgrounds all day. I know I've thrown a bit of shade at the school, but we seriously underestimate the compounding effects of a good education. Started as cavemen, look at us now sitting here. We pass down our nuggets of knowledge to gradually improve the lives of future generations. This guy named Newton invented calculus and propagated the knowledge throughout the whole world. So now we can understand the movement of the planets while failing high schoolers at the same time. For realsies, props to whoever's responsible for managing the finances here. The teachers don't look that miserable. But because of that, they were able to compound our interest for learning and innovation. Let's bear witness to that compound interest.
Kindergarten graduation was a real experience. The little caps, the mock diplomas, and the nicest shirt that 6-year-old me hadn't yet spilled Kool-Aid on. But to be honest, I don't really remember much of the pomp and circumstance. What I do remember, though, is the feeling of pride, and the feeling of recognition for obtaining my kindergarten diploma after a year of grinding for my AP coloring test. And although it seems trivial now, graduating kindergarten in front of my adoring parents could not have been a better moment. My pride wasn't earned because I had overcome some major obstacle. Graduating kindergarten was a breeze, and despite my S- in behavior, I passed with flying colors. My pride instead came from the numerous good job stamps I had received on all of my alphabet tests. Recognition had fueled my pride. In comparison, graduating high school has been the single longest endeavor of my life, and it has recently felt like, well, pulling teeth. I think every senior in here had a mid-May moment like mine, when Mr. Nunn assigned a book project with about 2 weeks to go, and I wanted to scream into the void because all I wanted to do was cross the finish line. High school is so much more difficult than kindergarten that we should, in theory, feel so much more pride for getting out alive. If I deserved a graduation for graduating kindergarten, then I deserve at least a graduation for every week of high school, which would mean, bear with me, we should have had about 130 graduations at this point. And if that's true, then we're about 129 graduations short of our quota. So what gives? Well, everybody, it seems as if we've entered the phase of our lives where we don't get recognized for normal things anymore, like brushing your teeth or eating your vegetables, which I still have to be goaded into sometimes. From this point on, there are no more guaranteed pats on the back and no more stickers for class participation. If you're going to college, maybe you'll graduate. And if you're going into the military, maybe you'll get a promotion. If you're going into the workforce, maybe. you'll get a bump up in pay. After today, though, no one is obligated to shake your hand or give you a certificate of all the hard work you've done, or high-five you as you round third base after a T-ball home run. Out there in the real world, there aren't many graduations. To put it in perspective, our parents have raised us for 18 years, and most of us haven't given them enough thank yous, much less a graduation like the ones they put on for us. But as they've learned, just because no one is celebrating your achievement doesn't mean you're not succeeding. You will achieve every day in your own way, but the real world won't reward you with celebrations in your honor for normal everyday tasks, even if it should. You may work every day to keep our world clean and safe, and that is success. You may work every day to sort papers into cabinets just to keep 3M organized, but that is success. You may work every day to cure the diseases and ailments that plague millions across this planet, and of course, that's success. You may work every day to keep a home for your family, and that too is success. Everybody here will succeed every day, but not all of us will get the recognition we deserve. Still, all of us will find a way to lead our lives when we come to realize that everyday achievements are successes too. There are two things to take from this. First, to never judge someone for the life they choose to live. As you will, every person has found a way to succeed in their own right, even if it doesn't look like much to you. Success isn't the same for everybody because everybody has their own sense of meaning. The second thing to remember is that you will always succeed, even when no one is reminding you of it. Everyone here today has earned this graduation, and everyone here will earn commendation again. It may not be how you expect, and you may not get a graduation every time it happens, but you will succeed. This class has the capacity to succeed in everyday ways and once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, in whatever life brings you, and in whatever brings your life meaning. Graduations don't come often, and when they do, savor them, because when they don't, you'll need to celebrate yourself, because you deserve it.
At this time, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2019 to Dr. Keith Jacobus, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Jacobus, these seniors have met the requirements of the state of Minnesota and Independent School District 833. By the authority vested in me as the principal of Woodbury High School, I certify that the members of this class of 2019 gathered at this ceremony have completed the necessary requirements and are eligible to receive a diploma.
On behalf of the Board of Education for the South Washington County School District, I am proud to accept the class of 2019. I'd like to thank the parents, guardians, and loved ones who helped us get to this day. I know from preschool to senior year, there were many exciting and wonderful times around school, and there were also many difficult times, and maybe sometimes some teary nights. And I appreciate the support that you give these young people and the support you've shown us as a school district. I'd like to thank the teachers at Woodbury High School and throughout the district that brought you to this school year, or this culmination today. And I'd like to thank you as graduates. I know some of you loved high school, and it was a great time. Others of you, maybe not. But you mattered. It made a difference to Woodbury High School that every one of you came to school every day. And I want to thank you for questioning us. I want to thank you for disagreeing with us and for pushing us to be better educators. We are better in 2019 because you were with us than we were last year, 2018. And even though maybe you won't be thanked for this, but Jackson, you brought it up, I want to thank you for brushing your teeth. And congratulate you, and good luck in all that you do. We can't wait to see you change the world.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobus. At this time, Mr. Pizzini, Mr. Canton, Mr. Wooten, Ms. Busnick, honor staff, Board of Education members, please proceed to grant the class of 2019 their diplomas. Will the first row of seniors please stand and come forward to receive your diploma?
Siva Priya Saravana Kumaran.
Neha Jen.
Sydney Elizabeth Lagos.
Ethan Fong Wu.
Haley Michelle Lambert.
Michael Deming Shaw.
Allison Elizabeth Langert.
Andrews Adamovicius.
Zachary Thomas Lands.
Evan Jason Koo.
Caden Ray Larson.
Cade Walter Kiesling.
Billy Kiss Tammy Tupe Lowell.
Kayla Yerk Singh Chan.
Erica Grace Marie Lee.
Morgan Elizabeth Swanson.
Pierce James Lanzall.
Scott Henry Sampson.
Jenny Ja Lee.
Sosenyos T. Yimmer.
Nicholas John Lentiaco.
Jackson Charles Paul McHugh.
Ryan Lee Lindstrom.
Sadie Marie Alders.
Anna Margaret Lomnicki.
Sabrina Amro Abdullah.
Reina Esperanza Lopez Flores.
Ugbat Jamal Abakar.
Trenton David Patterson.
Shamat Emmanuel Abraha.
Mitchell William Malkovich.
Bryce Maxwell Adams.
John Robert Matthew Roberts.
Aisha Aiden.
Ponce Lopez Sanchez.
Lane Margaret Isles.
Alson Comfeng Lore.
Jill Marguerite Osmond.
Tavia Ruth Lowe.
Isa Mohammed Ahmed.
Samuel Richard Lutzinger.
Teresa Oluwakemi Akinjo.
Jonah Christopher Linghog.
Gudina Gianna Alexis.
Michael Patrick McDonald.
Yusuf Ahmed Ali.
Luke Charles Meyer.
Parker Ray Allen.
Stephen Jacob Mann.
Henry I. Amadi.
Olivia Grace Marion.
Zachary T. Ames.
Zain Masood.
Benjamin Colin Walter Ames Robinson.
Cameron Francis Matz.
Olua Salape Florence Amason.
Bradley Michael Motter.
Olivia Emma Anderson.
Keyshawn Antonio Maxfield.
Zachary Michael Anderson.
Adam McKinley Mazur.
Timothy Calvis Ashbray.
Andre McAdory.
John Jeremy Avia.
Thomas Burton McAlpine.
Ukine Lino Awau.
Abigail Catherine MacArthur.
Aderansola Adilua Lua Badawa.
Matthew Thomas McCollar.
ZK Ray Himana Bahenyo.
Phoebe Marie McDonough.
Grace Lynn Ball.
Quinton Michael McDonough.
Ian James Valentine.
Colton John McGee.
Kenneth Allen Ballard.
John Brian McShane.
Sophia Isabella Banker.
Casey Kenneth Meisner.
Heather Ann Veronic.
Charles Alexander Mackenzie Mencken.
Hannah Amelia Bargeste.
Henry Hannibal Mackenzie Mencken.
Raquel Jewel Barnes.
Claire Suzanne Michaelowitz.
Aloria Marie Barnholt.
Justin Thomas Milbrand.
Cameron Nathaniel Barrientos.
Joshua William Miller.
Lillian Marie Barton.
Ryan Michael Miller.
Evan Alexander Bartness.
Alexander Thomas Basura.
Edward Allen Camposano Bautista.
Darion A. Mitchell.
Colin James Bayer.
Robert Brady Mosentine.
Allison Nicole Bites.
Ashley Jean Molino.
Sydney Catherine Bell.
Mackay Maurice Moore.
Brittany Caitlin Bennett.
Connor Patrick Morley.
Samuel Jacob Bentz.
Madison Bailey Mulligan.
Alec Ariel Berg.
Evan Bernard Murray.
Lana J. Berge.
Suha Ali Musa.
Zachary Douglas Bernstein.
Ryan Andrew Muzzy.
Lucas James Bertram.
Benedict Heisinger Nacionalis.
Grace Ann Biesman.
Sophia Annette Nash.
Brady Delvilsky.
Donald Achiri Indy.
Lydia Ann Bird.
Abigail Kathleen Nelson.
Britta Ann Blanding.
Timothy James Nelson.
John Thomas Bofelli.
Tracy Lynn Nelson.
Marin Rose Blodgett.
Catherine Trung Nguyen.
Jade Brenna Boizali.
Elizabeth Nicole Nikolich.
Tierney Marie Bowler.
Matthew Thomas Norman.
Niharika Bolu Kodona.
Claire Diane O'Keefe.
Michael Robert Goosens Bonilla.
Hallie Marie Oberg.
Maya Genevieve Bunny.
Vanita Na Dede Okwabi.
Lauren Ann Bookler.
Monica Claire Olson.
Arlene Blake Boras.
Sierra Marie Olson.
Jillian Elaine Ann Bushi.
Dylan Nicholas Olson.
James Franklin Boyd.
Gavin Patrick Olson.
Khalid Kofi Bradford.
Samuel Charles Olson.
Claire Margaret Bradley.
Jaquel Zachariah Orth.
Caitlin Elizabeth Brand.
Soki Priya Rafael Orubo.
Amber Nicole Bretwish.
Catherine Bell Ostroviak.
Asia Noel Bright.
Maria Ann Padden.
Lucy Ann Brooks.
Kyle Thomas Palmer.
Peyton Elise Brown.
Megan Therese Papchek.
Ryan Brown.
Isabel Sophia Parker.
Garen Austin Brumley.
Caden Shania Parker.
Max Buckholz.
Melissa Marie Parker.
Jacob Nicholas Budke.
Elijah David Parks.
Joseph David Burns.
Luke David Paulson.
Isabella Ann Marie Birch.
Andrew Jeffrey Pearson.
Alexander Joseph Bouchard.
Madeline K. Pereira.
Jared Carlos Chugian.
Scott James Peterson.
Jonathan Jerome Calkins.
Hein Lam Phan.
Taylor Danielle Campion.
Joseph Siafa Phillips.
Connor William Carlson.
Tess Brianna Picker.
Joshua Thomas Carrier.
Sarah Ruth Ponto.
Jamie Nicole Castro.
Abigail Zoe Poole.
Kyle Kao Chang.
Cameron Samuel Pope.
Needy Cheka.
Maya Marie Posini.
Brandon Chen.
Braden Robert Prestold.
Joshua George Chikala.
William Donald Price.
Rusho Hossein Chowdhury.
Abby Jean Provenzino.
Elise Alexandra Christensen.
Natalie Lauren Proud.
Julia Chu.
Jordan James Pu Sikora.
Robbie T. Chum.
Thomas Norris Puglisi.
Tyler Jeffrey Clark.
Johnny Arul Rejan.
Kyle Allen Claypool.
Shweta Reje.
Alexander Stephen Cochran.
John Cedric Lopez Ramos.
Maya Catherine Cochran.
John Dorzel Lopez Ramos.
Caitlin Roberta Collins.
Juliana Maki Ramsey.
Tiana Jude Collins Zazada.
Rachel Leah Rasmussen.
Ellie Catherine Cooper.
Tyler Michael Rawson.
Garrett Thomas Coulter.
Alyssa Nicole Raskasov.
Kyle Jackson Craven.
Nathan James Reitz.
Crawford.
Mackenzie Lauren Ressler.
Lily Arlene Cressy.
John Robert Royce.
Joseph John Tuoko.
Haley Stefania Rhodes.
Sarah Ann Marie Dolliger.
Tucker James Reinhardt.
Megan Jennifer Danley.
Nathan Alexander Rivera.
Christian Cleaver DeBray.
Timothy Russell Rizzo.
Lexi Nicole Decker.
McKellery Floyd Robertson.
Anna Grace DeFranco.
Chase Robinson.
John William Degnan.
Mackenzie Marie Robinson.
Isha Nimesh Desai.
Timothy Michael Rock.
Julia Mary Duell.
Janessa Nicole Romaine.
Erica Parker DeVore.
Joseph Douglas Rossaball.
Michael Jerome Dillard Jr.
Connor Matthew Rosinka.
Joanna Marie Denison.
Sebastian Thomas Rydell.
Tara Lilani Disareaka.
Odell Blessing Saki.
Elizabeth Kathleen Dodge.
Nathaniel John Saffold.
Alexa Louise Dorley.
Amira Marie Seiss.
Evan Lee Doherty.
Ruthie Anna Salida.
Tyler William Dovie.
Manuel Sampson.
Abigail Dorotheetta Draper.
Lemuel Samuel.
Hannah Rose Dufresne.
Ileana Carmen Sanchez.
Alexander Patrick Dunleavy.
Isabel Grace Sanchez.
Sarah Dunst.
Fabiola Isabel Santos Negroni.
Victoriano Duque.
Seth Wayne Sarmiento.
Jacob Lanson Durden.
Alexandra Celine Sabi.
Ugochukwu Austin Egwin.
Tyler Madison Sales.
Georgia Marin Eilertson.
Henry James Scheidt.
Elizabeth Schuyler Ellington.
Faith Elizabeth Schilling.
Samuel Richard Ellis.
Anthony E. Schmidt.
Genevieve Louise Engelson.
Nathan David Shute.
Alex John Engelsrud.
Riley John Schwartzoff.
Jacob D. Erickson.
Jacob Thomas Siebold.
Madeline C. Erickson.
Kevin Patrick Seebeck.
Jack Hayden Factor.
Jada Marie Shanley Moore.
Casey Nicole Faltasek.
Casey Joseph Simon.
Sarah Susan Fay.
Anna Rose Simon.
Claire Elizabeth Felter.
Ethan Davis Sinneberg.
Madeline Mary Felton.
Emily Jo Sipp.
Stephen W. Ferguson.
Tyler Stephen Scoutis.
Deja Sharia Moore Fields.
Paige Linda Skordahl.
Erin Nicole Fitzgerald.
Emily Ann Smith.
Lane Elizabeth Fitzpatrick.
Kaylina Clarice Schneiderich.
Alexis Evangeline Fotopoulos.
Christopher James Sorensen.
Nadia Gahan Franzen.
Emily Ann Sorensen.
Riley Nolan Frisk.
Kevin Carter Sorensen.
Warren David Frost.
Kelsey Brooke Standish.
Tara Elizabeth Frickman.
Lauren Colleen Stemper.
Ethan Edward Fullhart.
Margaret Mary Stephenson.
Ryan Hunter Funk.
Nina Stoich.
Garrett Oslin Gandhi.
Kelsey Jeanette Strand.
Sweta Ganesh Kumar.
McKenna Lynn Strand.
Christian Alexandro Garcia Kubalain.
Leah Isabel Strobel.
Suhani Garg.
Kimani Sierra Rose Struther.
Kate Marie Galkey.
Sean Michael Stuckert.
Zachary Nicholas Gayton.
Tyler M. Stumbo.
Talile Tuse Genichu.
Kaiser James Sun.
Alex Paul Giesel.
Sayuj Suresh.
Morgan Elizabeth Gilbertson.
Patrick Henry Swedenborg.
Emma Paige Getz.
Lee Nee Tan.
JC Ronald Goosen.
Ruth Z. Tekle.
Grace Selena Grados Olson.
Josephian Akienson Tao.
David Grindy.
Tao Zong Tao.
Charlie Julene Gustafson.
Tai Ying Tao.
Braden Michael Pack.
Connor Michael Thyssen.
Anna Colette Hagel.
Anna Sophia Tom.
Carter Thomas Hagel.
Andrew William Thompson.
Natalie Sue Hager.
Lisa Kashitsa Thor.
Jessica Rose Hall.
Connor John Thornton.
Leah Louise Pallet.
Hayden Bryce Timmerman.
Jenna Christine Hansen.
Aaliyah Mariana Toledo Perez.
Alyssa Ann Hansen.
Fabiana Marie Torres Lavoy.
Madeline Rose Hansen.
Jacques Thomas Tuissignant.
Aiden Nicholas Harper.
Daniel Vu Tron.
Paige Marie Harrell.
Henry Paul Trout.
Brent Jeffrey Harris.
Jack Robert Tribert.
Cade Alexander Harrison.
Elena Marie Euchre.
Jacob Reed Harrison.
Ekeoma Somachi Ukaga.
Natalie Phyllis Harrison.
Brett Joseph Uppus.
Brian Michael Paz.
Cade Lawrence Van Wyk.
Madison Piper Haas.
Cedric Colmont Bang.
Blake Emmanuel Hazlett.
Milan Bonbai Bang.
Michaela Ellen Hagernis.
Kathleen Vasky.
Nicholas Daniel Hemauer.
Benjamin Verheyst.
Jake Curtis Hendrickson.
Natalie Danielle Villanueva.
James Courtney Henry.
Benjamin Timothy Bowler.
Diamond Jongo Herr.
Josephine Mary Volk.
Ashley Michaela Hewitt.
Tyler Wadley. Tyler Michael Wadley.
Jackson Allen Hill.
Marcus Fabian Wagner.
Luke Robert Yort.
Gabriella Marie Wall.
Emma Harkness Pop.
Anne Marie Grace Ward.
Andrea Marie Pollinich.
Gemma Elizabeth Warren.
Michaela Daly Holst.
Gennaro Oluwatum Akoma.
Gabrielle Marie Hopkins.
Blair Patrick Weber.
Grayson Zachary Horn.
Colton Michael West.
Isabel Elena Post Smith.
Catherine Ann Wetzel.
Sophia Lynn Huff.
Megan Ray Whipple.
Jason John Hunt.
Philip Anton Wiggins.
Zoe Rose Pushka.
Jeremiah Johnson Williams.
Dua Haitham Abdullahi Ibrahim.
Jordan Paul Wyon.
Luke Anthony Iovino.
Grant David Whitman.
Keenan Yenda John Collins Iwu.
McKenna Ellen Wohlers.
Kevin Alexander Jackman.
Rose Marie Wolfram.
Abigail Reed Janey.
Lillian Kathleen Wood.
Elena Justine Jarzeski.
Nicholas Scott Wardman.
Terry Jang.
Isaac David Wortilla.
Annika Marie Johnson.
Adriana Jean.
Ian Michael Johnson.
Marina Jean.
Marlon Anthony Johnson.
Sue Jean.
Ryan Cecile Johnson.
Ariel G. Yang.
Kobe Christopher Jurek.
Parker Joseph Williamson.
Kennedy Lynn Cadella.
Cassidy Shua Yi Yang.
Darsh Pavan Kale.
Dexter Shaw Yang.
Andrew Henry Pena.
Jonathan Fu Chi Yang.
Bennett Patrick Caston.
Lindsay Yang.
Jake Christopher Kale.
Pa Dao Yang.
Andrew Lawson Kent.
Saran Yarek.
Caitlin Kelly Kirshner.
Jonathan Yarek.
Dante Joseph Peskin. Hatun.
Sophia Elizabeth Gira.
Mikal Idane.
Matthew Parker Zacharias.
Sebastian Sandu Kim.
Alex Zamaripa.
Emma Grace Lucas. Dante Cade Knox. Paige Ann Kohler. Erin Annette Coythan. Nathan Charles Konachek. Jonah David Kopinski. Andrew Joseph Kramer. Lauren Marie Kramer. Cameron Bennett Krennick. Grace Olivia Kroll. John Patrick Kippers. Ashlyn Rose Cuivanen.
From the right side of your hat to the left side. The Royal Rouser will be played as the final activity of this commencement ceremony. Students, please listen to it, this time as a graduate of Woodbury High School. Remember the tip I told you about at practice. At its conclusion, that special moment will come when students toss their hats to the wind and begin their new adventure. Parents, you may want to get your cameras ready. Students, please stand. Mr. Sherby, the Royal Rouser.